Aloha and good morning. I'm Wayne Morris, and I'd like to thank you for joining my wife Alice and I as we commemorate Anzac Day here in Kailua-Kona on the Big Island of Hawaii. We wanted to do this as a group in person, but given the constraints with COVID-19, we're making this a virtual event. If you're not familiar with Anzac Day, here is a little background, and more context can be found on the last page of the program. If you don't have a program, message Alice and she will send you one. Anzac Day marks the anniversary of the first campaign that led to major casualties for Australian and New Zealand forces during the First World War. The acronym Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, whose soldiers were known as Anzacs. In 1915, Australian and New Zealand soldiers formed part of the expedition that set out to capture the Gallipoli Peninsula in order to open the Dardanelles to the Allied navies. The ultimate objective was to capture Constantinople, now called Istanbul, which was at the time the capital of the Ottoman Empire, an ally of Germany. They landed on Gallipoli on the 25th of April 1915 and met fierce resistance from the Turkish defenders. The campaign dragged on for 8 months. At the end of 1915, the Allied forces were evacuated, with both sides having suffered heavy casualties. More than 8,000 Australian and almost 3,000 New Zealand soldiers had died in the campaign. Although the Gallipoli campaign failed in its military objectives, the actions of the Australian and New Zealand forces during the campaign left a powerful legacy. What became known as the Anzac legend became an important part of the identity of both nations. Anzac Day is when we remember the sacrifice of all those who died in war. This is a special day for Alice and myself. Our son serves with the Australian Army, his husband serves with the Royal Australian Air Force, and they've had multiple deployments, including to Afghanistan and Iraq. My grandfather also served in World War I in Europe with the Australian Imperial Force. I'd now like to open the ceremony by asking Alice to say a prayer.
God of love and liberty, we bring our thanks this day for the peace and security we enjoy, which was won for us through the courage and devotion of those who gave their lives in time of war. We pray that their labor and sacrifice may not be in vain, but that their spirit may live on in us and in generations to come, that the liberty, truth, and justice which they sought to preserve may be seen and known in all of the nations upon earth. This we pray in the name of the one who gave his life for the sake of the world, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. We'll now observe 1 minute's silence. Lest we forget. Lest we forget. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great day and that everyone stays healthy.